Hello everybody. So this is an interesting way to start a what I eat in a day video, right? Today's gonna be a relaxing, chill Sunday video, and I'm basically gonna be sharing what I eat in a day on an indulgent Sunday. And when I say indulgent, I mean just that. And as you can see, I am makeup free. I'm actually on my way to Trader Joe's so I can pick up some really fresh ingredients for today's meals. So that's why I'm looking like this. But anyway, if you want to spend a relaxing, indulgent Sunday with me, let's get into it. First stop is, of course, TJ's, Trader Joe's.
Today's video is in collaboration with Nakano Knives. Nakano Knives is a world-renowned brand that has been crafting amazing, high-quality knives since 1918. They use traditional Japanese methods combined with modern techniques to curate beautiful knives that are made to stand the test of time. Their knives are made in Sakai, Japan, a city with a long history of sword and knife making. Their knives are not only stunning, but they're some of the sharpest knives in the world, making them the ultimate kitchen tool. They are pristinely packaged and make great gifts for those special people in your life who like to cook. They sent me their Mito Santoku knife, which is the perfect shape and size for all my kitchen needs. And when I tell you this knife is wonderful, I mean, look at how thin I'm able to slice this lemon and with such ease. Amazing. The knife also comes with instructions on how to care for it and keep it lovely and sharp. Click the link in the description to learn more about Nakano Knives and be sure to place your order today. Whether you're a professional chef or just a home cook like me, their knives will make cooking so much easier and make you excited about getting in the kitchen again. I'll be making great use of this knife in today's video, so let's go ahead and jump right back into it.
Alrighty, so I just picked up my trusty old Trader Joe's items that I need for today's meals, and now I'm actually gonna go for a nice little walk. I intentionally came to a different area today to go to Trader Joe's because sometimes I just like to switch up my areas and switch up where I walk. This area is so beautiful. Wait till I show it to you guys. But yeah, after that, we'll be heading home to cook some delicious meals for today. I like to get my walk out of the way early. So we're getting our walk in, and then we're gonna head home and make some deliciousness, y'all. But let me show y'all this scenery where I am right now before we get into it, because this scenery is just as good as the meals today, trust me. Okay, you guys, my walk is all done and I'm starting to get hungry now. It's about 8:30-ish, and this is usually the time where I have a cup of coffee and it kind of suppresses my appetite, but I'm on a little coffee break. So no coffee for an entire month for me right now. I'm taking a little coffee break. I do that periodically, but yeah, time to head home. I have to leave this beautiful view, but I did enjoy my walk, and yeah, it's time to roll, y'all.
Alrighty, I am back at home and I took me a nice, delicious little shower and I feel amazing, but I'm not super hungry. So my boyfriend and I decided we just want to have a smoothie. So I'm just going to be using some orange juice, these frozen mangoes, and some frozen peaches, and some ice, of course. I'll be using my NutriBullet to make this. I'm just going to go ahead and pour a little bit of the frozen mangoes and a few of the frozen peaches into my Magic Bullet. Push those down in there. I'm also going to add that orange juice, and I think I added maybe a cup and a half of orange juice. And I'm also going to add some water because I don't want it to be too thick, and I want the blender to be able to blend the mixture. So you want to add a little water. You can always sweeten things up with some honey here as well, but I'm just going to blend it as is to keep it nice and healthy. I blended it until everything was super smooth, And yeah, it basically tastes like a McDonald's smoothie. If you've never had them, they're actually pretty good. But this is a McDonald's smoothie at home. I went ahead and dumped everything into 2 clear cups. These are so easy and convenient when you want to like just have a quick little smoothie or an iced coffee. And I ordered them from Amazon, just FYI. But yeah, I went ahead and scooped everything into the cups. Of course, I gave myself a little more than my boyfriend. And there you have it. 2 mango peach smoothies, nice and healthy. So deciding to start off the day kind of healthy, but trust me, it's about to get very, very indulgent. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and sit in front of the TV and enjoy those. And this is how I store my fruit in the freezer, just in a simple Ziploc bag. Alrighty, I decided to get into some deliciousness for lunch today. I'm going to be making a delicious tomato and burrata toast. This toast is so good, you guys. It's so easy, simple ingredients, easy to find, but it's one of the most indulgent things that I ever eat. And I found this black truffle burrata at Whole Foods and I had to get it and make it. So we're gonna be using that, some tomatoes, sourdough bread, olive oil. You're gonna need some balsamic glaze, pesto, mayonnaise, salt and pepper. And for your seasonings, you're gonna need this all seasonings blend, parsley, a little bit of basil would be great, and some garlic salt. So the ingredients are super simple. Oh, and some butter, if I didn't mention, you're gonna need butter for the toast. But very, very simple ingredients, and I'm gonna show you how I use everything. First thing you wanna do is go ahead and put your tomatoes into a pan. That can be a porcelain dish, that can be any type of deep set pan. I'm gonna season them with salt and pepper, very simply. And I'm also going to add those garlic cloves into the pan and cover everything with olive oil. You don't have to use a bunch of olive oil, but you do want it to be enough to kind of make a sauce in the bottom of the pan with that tomato juice. Go ahead and also add all of your seasonings on top. And yeah, this is gonna be so flavorful. It's gonna make your whole house smell amazing, you guys. You want to go ahead and place your tomatoes into that 350-degree oven. Then you can go ahead and start preparing some of your other ingredients, including that toast. I like to spread mine with a nice layer of butter because I love the flavor of butter on sourdough. And I love to get my sourdough nice and crispy. So I give it a nice little layer of butter, and then I went ahead and placed it into the oven and just let it stay in there until it gets nice and brown. And I'm showing you guys how to butter toast, but I'm sure y'all know how to butter toast. We're gonna go ahead and put that in the oven with the tomato mixture. Now we're gonna go ahead and make our pesto mayo. So you're gonna just need maybe a tablespoon or 2 of mayonnaise and then a large heaping tablespoon of pesto. You can use whatever pesto works for you. Mine is a pesto sauce from Trader Joe's. You're gonna take a spoon and blend all of that together really, really well until it turns a nice opaque color and has a flavor that is appealing to you. Once your toast is nice and brown, you can go ahead and take it out of the oven, and you want to remove your tomato and garlic mixture after about 20-25 minutes. When those tomatoes are nice and soft, the garlic is super, super soft, and everything is just bubbling and ready to go. This is when it's ready. Go ahead and remove those tomatoes off the vine if you use tomatoes that are on the vine. I prefer those because they stay fresh for a really, really long time on my counter. So that's why I prefer those, but you can use any tomatoes that you want, including larger tomatoes that you can just chop up. We're gonna remove all of those vines. This mixture smells amazing, you guys, like amazing. And it creates like a little sauce in the bottom of the pan with the tomatoes and all the seasonings and the olive oil. So good to pour on top of the burrata. But we're also going to take some basil leaves. You want to kind of just curl those into like a little roll and then slice them to create nice ribbons. And that's what we're going to use to garnish the toast at the end. And it gives it a nice punch of basil. It's just a really amazing flavor, the flavor of garlic, tomatoes, and basil together, especially when you add good seasonings. It's bomb. So now we're going to take our browned toast. We're going to go ahead and add some of that pesto mayo. A nice thick layer is what I prefer, but you can use however much you prefer. Spread it out on your toast. Then you're going to go ahead and top it with the tomato mixture, and then you're going to top it with your burrata. You can use a half of a ball of burrata. You can use a whole one. Burrata balls to me are pretty substantial, so I went ahead and went with a half on each slice. But later on, of course, we did eat that other ball on another set of toast. So really easy, really good. Just make it how you prefer. Once you add your burrata on top of your tomato mixture on your toast, you can go ahead and garnish with as much of those basil ribbons as you want. I love basil, so I put a lot on mine. Of course, I want to plate things up really nicely for you all, so I added my toast to this cute little wooden tray, and yeah, it looks amazing, and trust me, it tastes amazing. I did go ahead and drizzle some balsamic vinegar on mine. This is like a balsamic glaze. My boyfriend did not want that on his, so you can certainly leave it off if you want, but I prefer it on there. And I did have this little toast with this lemon and elderflower soda from Trader Joe's. If you haven't tried it, you have to try it. It tastes like a cocktail almost, but of course it's non-alcoholic. It's amazing. So that's basically lunch, you guys. This recipe is so easy, and I would definitely recommend it if you want to have a nice indulgent lunch. Now I'm gonna go and enjoy this. So as hard as I tried to make it all the way to dinner, I actually got a little hungry between my delicious toast and dinner. So I decided to make a little charcuterie board, or what I like to call a grazing board, which is basically a bunch of little snacks. So I started off with this pack of 3 different types of cheeses. That is from Trader Joe's, and it has a couple of different cheeses in it. I'm not even sure the names at this point because I threw the package away, but they are really good. I also added this apricot cheese from Trader Joe's. That cheese is one of my favorites. And then I threw on some nectarines that I sliced up. You can also use peaches in place of nectarines if you prefer that, but I just sliced them kind of thin and put those in the middle of the board. I like my boards to have a good variety of color, flavors, vegetables, fruit, as well as some olives, like salty things, and a little bit of kick, which is going to be the peppers you see in the red over there. But I went ahead and added some cucumbers. Like I said, I added those marinated peppers. Those are like sweet hot peppers. I also threw on some cherries because cherry season is in, and they are so delicious and sweet right now. I also added some seedless green and red grapes for color, flavor, sweetness. I love grapes on a charcuterie or grazing board. Then I added these little salami and provolone rolls. Those are from the grocery store. You can get those at Kroger or at Vons and Pavilions, aka Safeway. I also added this very thinly sliced mortadella. I love mortadella. It's so delicious. It's so tender and like light. It's one of those like deli meats that's like super light, and it has little bits of cheese in it. I love mortadella, but that mortadella particularly is from the Kroger grocery store. I'm not sure of the brand, but I really like it on my boards because it's just the perfect little bite of meat, and it's nice and thin. I also went ahead and added some Gouda cubes, and that is how I made my board. Voila. It looks amazing. It tasted amazing. My sister actually happened to stop by shortly after I made it, so we ate it together, and then I kicked her out because I did not want to share my dinner with her. But yeah, easy way to make a board. Couple of cheeses, couple of meats, some fruits, some veggies, some olives, and you're good. Me, my sister, and my boyfriend thoroughly enjoyed this board, and it held me over perfectly until dinner. So I finished my lovely little charcuterie and took a nice nap, and now it is time to prepare dinner, which is going to be a seafood soup. To make it, you're going to need some black mussels, large shrimp, which I have sliced in half. You're going to need some potatoes, which I've quartered into pieces, codfish, fresh Parmesan cheese. You're also going to need a mirepoix with celery, onions, and carrots. You're going to need parsley, cilantro, heavy whipping cream, shrimp bouillon. You're also going to need some seasonings. I chose to use a Cajun seasoning, red pepper flakes, parsley, basil, this 24 no salt seasoning blend, and I also used some seafood stock, but you can replace that with chicken stock or water, and olive oil. This soup is so delicious. It's easy to make, and it's very indulgent. You're going to start off by cooking your vegetables in some olive oil. Make sure to season them with salt and pepper and give them a nice little stir. You want to cook them until they're nice and soft and translucent. In the meantime, you're going to go ahead and chop up your potatoes, and you want to chop them basically into 1-inch pieces, and those are going to go ahead and boil in a pot by themselves, and as they boil you'll be able to prepare some of your other ingredients. And I'm all done chopping up those potatoes. My Nakano knife made that light work. And like I said, I'm going to go ahead and add those to a separate pot of boiling salted water. And those are going to take roughly about 10 minutes to cook. You want to cook them until they're nice and soft. Now I'm going to go ahead and season up those vegetables. I went in with that shrimp bouillon, my 24 spice blend, parsley, dried basil, Cajun seasoning, and I also went ahead and added some red pepper flakes and garlic. I'm not sure if I mentioned that I would be adding these little garlic squares, but those are so convenient for soups. So once you add those, you want to go ahead and give everything a nice stir. Let those garlic cubes melt into the seasonings and with those vegetables. Then once that's done, you want to go ahead and add your seafood stock to the pot. I added an entire carton of seafood stock, and I also added 2 full bottles, 16-ounce bottles of water to the pot. While my soup came up to a boil, I went ahead and chopped up my cilantro and my parsley. And you just want to give the cilantro kind of a rough chop since it's actually going to be used as a garnish. It's going to go on top of the soup after you serve it. The parsley you do want to kind of break down a little bit more because it's going to go in the soup. And once you're done chopping up the parsley and cilantro, you just want to put that to the side and go ahead and start chopping your fish. And for the fish, you want to slice it into similar size pieces that you did the potatoes, basically into 1-inch cubes. Thankful for my Nakano knife here because it made cutting up the fish so easy. This knife is absolutely amazing, you guys. I'm telling you, have to check out their brand if you're on the market for a really good kitchen knife. It makes cooking so much easier and so much fun, to be honest. So I went ahead and added the potatoes into the soup once it did start to boil. And I also decided to add a can of corn. I'm not sure if I mentioned that ingredient earlier on, but I thought some corn will kind of make the soup a little bit more chowdery and give it a nice little sweet bite. So once that came to a boil, I went ahead and added my heavy whipping cream. This is going to add a richness and a lot more body to the soup. But if you do not eat dairy, you can definitely leave that out. And I added an entire 1-pint bottle of heavy whipping cream. Then I went ahead and added my freshly grated Parmesan cheese. Just adds a nice salty bite to the soup, and it also adds a little more richness. After that, everything was hot, everything was boiling. This is the time you want to go in with your seafood. It's only going to take about 2 minutes to cook. So I went in with my cubes of fish. I also went in with my halved shrimp, and I went in with those mussels. Those mussels are pre-cooked. You can get those at the grocery store. They're in like a garlic butter sauce already, and they're just ready to heat up. So after all of that heated up, once my shrimp looked nice and opaque, once the fish looked nice and well cooked, you don't want to overcook it, of course, then I knew my soup was ready. I went ahead and threw some garlic breadsticks into the oven. These are from Trader Joe's, and they are so delicious, you guys. So good. Once everything in the soup was done, it was time to go ahead and add my parsley. I don't like my parsley to turn really dark, and so I like to add it at the end of the cooking of the soup so it can stay nice and vibrant in the soup, and it also keeps that nice strong parsley flavor. So I went ahead and stirred in all that parsley, and I added a lot. So you can definitely go with how much you want. But once I did that, the soup was ready to plate up. Get you a beautiful bowl because you are going to love the way this soup looks. It looks so expensive and just super like luxe, but it's actually very practical and inexpensive. And so plated mine up in a nice bowl, nice clean little look, and then I went ahead and garnished it with some cilantro. Of course, we had to have a cocktail, so I have some tropical ocean spray cranberry juice And I also added some berry vodka in there. So that's the cocktail, that's the soup. Added my breadstick. When I tell you this dinner was off the chain, you got to try this recipe. I have linked it and I have listed it. Thank you all so much for checking out this little what I eat in a day video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked the recipes that I shared. I wanted to bring you all this video because I want to share other things that I actually enjoy besides fashion, and cooking and eating is definitely two of the things I enjoy. So I hope you guys love this video. If you're not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button before you go. And of course, to all my regulars, I really hope you all enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for more, and I will see you all on the next one. Bye, y'all.